I have this tradition. Every year since 2014, when the first snow falls, I go down the street from where I live and I ski a hill that most people have no interest in skiing. There's a big staircase and a road with a blind corner that I cross going as fast as I possibly can. I usually bring my GoPro or a friend. Sometimes I bring my wife, and she uses the DSLR. I edit the video within a couple of weeks of shooting, and I post it on every platform I can. This series, Gettin Em Freshies, is the only thing I've been consistent with on this channel since I started it, and I think it's a good representation of both my life and my skills developing year to year. Except this year. This year I didn't get it done. We shot it when the snow fell, but we had to move the very next week. We were packing and renovating our bathroom. The house was chaos. I even left my GoPro in the bathroom, which complicated things. There's also a pandemic, which messed with me. More on that later. I shot a wedding video the day before we moved to Calgary. I also had to do the editing for that wedding video. I had a new job to learn here in Calgary, and then I hurt my knee. Diagnosis was a torn meniscus, but it turned out to be much worse. The MRI revealed a complete tear of my ACL and damage to every ligament and structure inside. It's been the hardest recovery I've ever made, and after 8 months I still can't squat or move quickly. The lack of movement, the extra care I have to take with every step, combined with being isolated in a city where I don't know anyone, got in my head, and it started making me sad. It took me 5 months to finish editing that wedding video, and by the time I was done it, I didn't want to be at my computer anymore. I became afraid to finish this edit, this video that I've effortlessly done every year.
I'm getting some freshies.
This year, it became impossible. I was overcome by a lack of inertia. A resistance was in my way. That same dreaded resistance that has been written about in so many books. Something that stops you from doing what you want to do, what you set out to do. It blocks your creativity, tells me I'm an imposter, tells me that I'm not a filmmaker, that I'm a poser, that I'm weak, that it doesn't matter whether or not I finish this stupid video because the only people who are going to watch it with me will be sitting in the room with me. And then I just miss sitting in rooms with people. It's hard not to talk about this video, this year, this depression, my depression, without talking about the pandemic. It's hard not to talk about anything without it coming up, the pandemic. It's been stopping me a lot, this depression. I haven't been excited about projects or food. I'm using my gymnastic rings, and I'm getting stronger, but I still feel weak. Realizing how deeply my identity is tied to my physical ability, the ability to do something it feels like has been taken away from me. Is it personal inadequacy, or is it the result of a year's worth of government restrictions? I've been very lucky during this pandemic. I remained healthy, mostly. My career was unaffected, and I've been able to move to a new home with the woman I love. But in this last 6 months, I've felt a form of guilt growing, which I've never experienced before. I feel guilty that I haven't done anything with all this time, that I should have done more with this time, that I have not done enough with this time. I started writing this voiceover, this essay, back in November of 2020.
I filmed you at your mentally healthiest a couple times.
This is the 4th time I've sat down to record it. Each time, my mental health in a different state. At first I was excited, but I didn't know what to say. Later I was agitated by the pressure of writing and creating something great.
It's pretty good, hey?
And the 3rd time I was depressed.
Yep.
The work felt painful and pointless. I'd rather be relaxing. So I did.
It's been snowing in Calgary all day.
At the time of this recording, it's been 7 months since October, and now it has been a whole month since my first vaccine. Alberta has an ambitious rollout reopening plan that conveniently coincides with the stampede. My breath is not held, but a hope grows in my heart that I cannot stop. I know that some people have been able to thrive over this last year in isolation, but I was not one of them. Instead, this time, this injury, this world has given me the room I need to ruminate on what it is that I love about life. And that is relationships, adventures with friends, and moments with people. These are things that I need just like food and water. It's now been a decade since I posted the first ski video on this channel. April Fool's Day of 2011, I wasn't in a great place emotionally. I had been out of university for almost a year, and I was nowhere near landing a job doing motion capture or video production or anything I was remotely interested in. I had been accepted to NAIT for the DMIT program, but I was still so insecure about myself. And posting ski videos was a way of putting myself out there without having to make something good. Rather, just to make something that I love. This year has taken a lot away from many people, and I refuse to let it take away this video from me. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time.